That's
Sorry.
right, we're
fucking
here.
rude.
Hello.
Hello.
We're live. As we take the piss out of Enzo. Welcome to
It's
our Game of
already
Thrones
started.
Song of Ice and Fire. Don't interrupt me. Our campaign after the fire. You'll regret it. I am tired as fuck, and I have some three very energetic people with me tonight. So let's go around, have a quick chat to them before we dive into all of the juicy fruits, because things went down during the downtime monthly action tourney thing, and yeah, it's only going to get worse from here, I feel. Speaking about getting worse from here, hello, Susanna Grace.
How did I know? How did I know you were going to come straight to me for that one?
Because you're
Hello,
like
everybody.
right, you're like next.
Squint. Hi, everybody. This is Westeros' favorite disaster child, Maria, coming at you with semi-sick deliriousness and sniffles. So who knows what's going to happen today? I might just go 1v1 Maekar right now and just be like, let's fucking go.
You'd have to run a really long way to do that, but sure.
Yeah, I got
She could be Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Or Forrest Gump. Just keep going.
Yeah. And I started running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, we're talking about
energy.
Miria, not Enzo, right?
Oh, I didn't have anything to do with that one, Tom. Just put my hands up there. That was Sam. Very weird energy backstage today, friends. But I'm very, very excited for today's session because, as Sam said, shit got juicy in the downtime. Like, way juicier than it should have, perhaps. But we're here for it.
Righty. And Tom, Mr. Hot Flakes himself, is with us as well. Hello, friend.
Am I allowed to speak now?
Yes.
Thank you.
I've introduced you.
Yeah, I'm okay. I've recovered from the cold that I had last week.
Good.
So I do have a bit more energy. I'm excited to see what will happen. I tuned in for the Saturday episode of The House.
Yeah, I think I saw your little
things
name
that
in
was
chat.
very interesting to see. It was quite interesting, and realizing that a spy network is really important.
Pretty good in it.
It's like super freaking good.
Mm.
So if we ever do play this again in a new campaign, guys, we get a spy network. Like, first thing that we get is a spy network, and upgrade it to rank 2 or whatever. So then it can
Plausible deniability upgrade.
Yeah.
Millie got in touch for that after the fact. So she hasn't got a court anymore either. So she had to ditch some of the wealth benefits she's bought.
Well, you know.
It's okay, in 3
It's
months
worth
she
it.
gets plausible deniability. So if you can catch her in 3 months, you're away.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens.
Beautiful.
I've got my trainers on, so I'm ready to run.
Ready to run. Very good. And Charlie. Hello, friend.
Howdy.
How are you
Hello.
doing?
I'm good. I'm really hyped to play whatever this is going to be. Based on our preamble, it's going to be interesting tonight. And I'm ready to meet this new NPC that we were discussing and find out who they are and what they're about. And I'm not mad at all about what I found out was rolled on Saturday.
Yeah. So when we all crack up a specific name when it comes up as an NPC, you'll know. I mean, you probably laugh as well anyway, but fuck it, it's what the name generator gave me. You see, I've rolled about 12 times on that because I was just like, no. Yobert was good enough. That'll do.
That's what his parents said too. It's good enough.
Oh my god.
All right, Margaret, we'll stop there. Yobert's good enough.
Yeah, so Millie, we had that Yobert like yogurt. Yeah, we had that exact joke earlier. Where's my yogurt? Yobert. Anyway. Shall we start? Well, let's start then with what is episode 3 of our 6th season, The Siege of Fox Hollow. Oh, I need some music. Some funky music. Suspensor. Go.
I know how numbers work. I definitely just didn't take too long to figure out what 6 was, I think.
Oh my god. Okay, cool.
It's fine. It's fine. Just edit that out, Sam, when it goes to YouTube. Thanks.
I'll fix it in post, don't worry.
Yeah.
Singer she loves going first so much. Miria.
Bum, bum, bum. Good luck.
Thanks.
Yourself, Harris, the Brotherhood of the Blood Royal have traversed west along the Ironwood River, past House Fowler, down at wherever they are, just to the south of the Prince's Pass. The Fowlers, while you are there, you discover they have not yet declared either way. It's up to you whether you want to give them a little bit of a wide berth or whether you want to actually entreat with them or not for any particular reason.
Ooh. I think she. Yeah, I think part of it is, as well as getting to Fox Hollow, it's also making friends and influencing people. So yeah, I think she maybe stops in at House Fowler, like, "Hi, may I introduce you to my good friend, King Daemon II."
Not that he's with you or anything.
No, but have you heard the good word?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. We can play something out a little bit, I think. Let's have a look at House Fowler very briefly. In my
They live
wiki
at
of Ice and
Skyreach.
Fear. Yeah.
We made friends with them at the Tawny, right?
I was thinking they were the ones that we made friends with.
Because
The
they're
dude
neighbors.
that I was like, is he single? Because maybe. But he was definitely playing like all the sides and definitely married. Which also not really a problem, but
Fowler was one of the houses you went to and was like, "Hey, daughter, marry her if you want."
I don't know whether I actually decided what their names were. Get some first names.
He definitely had like a
Yobbert.
Like it was.
Cat, please stop.
I feel like it was kind of like a Nordic-y name.
Yobbert Fowler.
Sounds
It's
like
Lord.
a footballer.
This is even better. It's Lord Frenlin Fowler.
Friendlin?
Frenlin.
So if he's friendly.
Probably Fred to his friends or something. Oh no, cat, you've fallen down. It's a serious issue. Hang on. There you go.
Oh.
It's all right. Claw got caught. Right. No, we will carry. Okay, we will do this properly now. Okay, so Skyreach, I imagine, is a hall, maybe a tower, small keep in the foothills of the Red Mountains. Overlooks the Prince's Pass to the west and the northwest. And as much as there is a chilly atmosphere, even in the still quite hot sun of the Dornish autumn, Lord Frenlin gives you an audience, at least to hear you out. House Fowler were first men kings to rule Skyreach. So while House Ironwood at a time rivaled that of House Martell before the coming of the Roynish population, and Nymeria doubling Martell's power, Ironwood didn't reach this far west. It reached to the north. The Wills were one of their vassals way back in ancient times, and it extended further south and east. The Fowlers were their own rulers. And so when you sent out missives and you were trying to recruit more people, the Fowlers did not reply. They were not one of the people that came back to you. And yet, here sits Lord Frenlin, looking at you, trying to measure you as you stand in his court. Harris is with you, presumably, as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Harris is, like, not only is he like a bit still general, but he's a lord in his own right, so I wouldn't be like keeping him in the back. Like, that's not the proper thing to do. But I think Myria, whenever she's here, she shows that that deference that one does to a lord in his own keep. She bows to him. She's very polite. She doesn't have any air of superiority or anything like that here. She's like, it's the dude in his own house. She's trying to butter him up a little bit by being so overly polite and like respectful.
You are offered guest rights.
Okay.
Please make me a status breeding check.
I should maybe put some points into this at some point.
It's
Could
used
be
all
useful.
the frickin' time.
Status breeding. That is a 13.
And it seems to work. You seem to strike the right chord, and he seems a little bit more pliable to you, seeing as you've extended the proper graces. And you've got a little bit of the Dornish influence in your behaviour as well. In your in your manners.
I think her main course of attack here is not necessarily a fuck the Targaryens sort of line here, but it's to hearken into that ancient past where the Fowlers were kings in their own rights before Nymeria came over with the Martells. And she's going to pull out the letter from Marin Martell to Horatio Ironwood that is, telling him to kill his brother for the reward of fortune or whatever the fuck it was on this thing. And as she does so, she explains that this is the kind of caliber of people that are ruling us right now. This is the caliber of people who would declare themselves our kings. And we have suffered under them for long enough. And then I think... No, she's not going to tell him that. But yeah, she's going to really hark on to, and even she mentions that like when she was in Sunspear, she saw that the Rhoynish people were being persecuted by their own they weren't even allowed to speak their own language here and stuff like that. So she's really hammering in the injustice sort of element here.
He looks at the piece of paper, this old faded parchment, and he folds it back up the way that you handed it to him, passes it back with 2 fingers, and then says, "This is an Ironwood matter. Not a matter that we need to concern ourselves with."
I understand that this particular matter, but it's symptomatic of the rot that dwells beneath this house. House Martell, House Targaryen.
The Martells have protected us for centuries against raids from the Reach. House Fowler has been one of the houses at the forefront of that. The forefront of the raids, the forefront of its defense. What concerns me more, my lady, is stories of a host gathering in the Reach, just north of the Red Mountains, led by the Tarleys, it seems, rebellious once more. What is going to stop them? What are you going to do to stop them traveling south? If you are for the Black Dragon too.
And she sort of turns to Harris. This here is Lord Harris Bull. He'll be paramount of the Reach. You swear yourself to the Black Dragon and your lands will be saved.
I'm sure if the Tarly host has anything to say about it, Sir Glendon will not give up the title so easily, perhaps.
There is the hint of a wry smile at the corner of Miria's mouth. That is a matter between the king and Lord Tarly.
You come into my court with the air of having the king's ear. The pretender king's ear. He, like, catches himself.
Mm-hmm.
Would you tell me what the king thinks in this regard? And Harris is very quick to retort that it's he who is going to be ruling from Highgarden, taking back not only his, house and lands rightfully, but also Highgarden to be ruling there in the king's stead. Would you roll for me? Whatever you want to roll, persuasion, deception, or whether you actually just want to... actually, no, I'll tell you what, let's make this a quick intrigue.
Okay.
So roll for me persuasion or deception, depending on just how kind of faithful you're being to what you're proposing.
Yeah.
You basically want him to join the cause, right?
Yeah. Quick question.
Yeah.
In the Saturday thing, I said that before we even left, we would have got sent off for some sort of official paper from the king declaring Harris as future Lord Paramount once it's
Yes.
taken. Do we have that?
Yeah.
As cool.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. I mean, she's been truthful. She does want House Fowler to join the cause.
You can gain a bonus dice from having Harris assist you as well.
Sweet. Okay, let me just
What
see
do
if
we
I've got anything I
do?
can add.
Do we do rank, half rank rounded down still? I can't remember.
She's not lying, so I don't add anything there. We get a bonus die.
I don't think so. I think we took that out because it's complicated as fuck.
Yeah, some of the static modifiers and stuff. I'll give you a bonus dice for this anyway. It's simple to do.
Cool. 22.
Okay. So there is just some discussion back and forth, particularly about his concerns with things to the north.
Mm-hmm.
You do succeed, but I do want to know what it is about his concerns that you address that change his mind. What are you going to do about the soldiers and the hosts in the Reach, and ensure that they don't just come and like mess him up?
Yeah.
Or is it, if you join us, you won't be, because we're under the Blackfyre banner. We're not under the Tarly banner or the so-and-so banner or the Martell banner.
Yeah, I think it's that you would be under the Black Dragon rather than a particular sort of faction in itself. But also, Miri is very keen on that this will be a continuing friendship for our houses for generations to come. And part of that is swearing that you protect each other. So while ever this friendship remains true, then Miria will go to bat for House Fowler whenever they need her. You know, she's pledging herself as an ally to the house, and also like saying that with what sway she does have in the rebellion, that she will make sure House Fowler is protected.
Nice, cool. And Harris backs you up with that, and Lord Fowler seems amiable to that, and so you manage to, I'd say, spend a night.
Mm-hmm.
And the Brotherhood as well are afforded some stables and a few rooms in the lower parts of the keep, just to kind of stave off the cold of the night for one night, and then off you go, heading further west towards Blackmont. After, a good couple of weeks probably slogging through the mountains, particularly over one mountain range, and then back down towards the river I believe is the Blackmont River, if I'm mistaken, but something like that. You eventually find yourself in familiar territory. And on the horizon, you see the castle Blackmont, just to its south, I believe. The village. The village, sorry, is to the north a little bit, isn't it? Because you reach the village and then you reach the castle. And so, where Maekar made his assault, the familiar moat that's cut out and uses a part of the river to flood it. You see, even though you arrive in the day, it seems that some of the small folk activity, at least, is muted. There are a couple of fishers out about their business, and I mean this is harvest time as well, as we start to go into autumn. So there's going to be some more bountiful crops, certainly, as conditions are great for that kind of thing. And there's a lot of it left in fields. I mean, this is the feeling, at least, the thing, if I'm pulling out from medieval kind of history, is that small folk have their smaller plot of land. They farm that plot of land. There's no larger organized agriculture, if there is. It's due to the lords managing that and their stewardship. But it seems there's a lot left in the fields. The small folk are quiet. It's like you're riding into like a kind of slightly dodgy Wild West town. There's that heat of the day, and there is a kind of smell in the air as you, Harris, and about a score of knights on horseback on sand steeds ride into Blackmont. And small folk rush out the way, all staring at you.
Cool. Oh boy, Miria is like, something is wrong here. This is strange. I mean, she grew up in the Red Mountains, not too far from Blackmont. She visited Blackmont a bunch while she and Ellery were courting, and she's never seen it like this before. So she's definitely like taking it in and picking up on that vibe.
And as you travel towards the north side of the keep, where you would expect the crossing to be, the drawbridge, it is up as well, unexpectedly.
Weird. Shit. I don't know personally, as Susie, how one contacts someone in a castle to ask to be let in.
Oi!
That's pretty much it.
Okay. I think she sort of gestures for one of her knights to announce their presence, because dude voices carry a little bit better than female voices do. So she sits there as this knight announces them, as it were.
I would like you to make me a status reputation check.
Cool. All the status today. Status, reputation. Ooh. 12. Oof.
There is a longer pause than you would like, and you see some movement up at the top of the Barbican as there's a couple of head and shoulders just crossing over some of the crenellations between them and the walls. And you see a couple of people peering out towards you, and there's a little bit of a glint of steel, like a gorget, on someone's shoulders. Before you hear a kind of a clonk, and then that slow kind of winding clink of chain that slowly winds the little bridge down that allows you to cross.
Oh, what if they announced her as Miria Sand and not Miria Greenmont? So that's why they were like, who? That's probably why she was. Because I imagine if she just asked her knight to announce them, they wouldn't have used Greenmont to announce her.
That's a very good point. Okay. It's the large, and so this castle doesn't have a traditional yard. The yard is effectively just the space in front of the keep, just past the drawbridge, but it's all within the kind of moat, that moated area. And so as this drawbridge lowers, it's not the part that's attached to the Barbican, and as it starts to lower, you can just make out that there are maybe just half a dozen peak knights or peak men-at-arms at least, with spears, swords and shields, and they are forming up as best they can, and they are in effect standing at those big double doors, waiting.
Okay. Miria is going to slowly walk her horse forward in trying to stay as neutral as possible. Her hand is nowhere near the sword on her hip or the spear that's strapped to her horse. She's got her hands like in her lap with her reins. And she leans forward and asks, I wish to seek audience with Lord Ellery Peak.
And you see an older men-at-arms without a helm, but he's wearing gorget, chain, and the 3 black towers of House Peak on his tabard that glows orange in the daylight. And just between the shoulders of the lined-up spearmen, he says, "And who are you, my lady? Which house do you hail from?"
And she, I imagine she's been wearing like a headscarf because of the sun, to keep the sun off her head. She pulls that back to show her face. I'm Lady Miria. I was betrothed to Lord Peak.
The Lady Miria Greenmont was betrothed to Lord Ellery.
Yes.
You were announced as Lady Sand.
The matter is somewhat complicated, but I am she.
You best come inside, my lady. And if you are on the other side of this drawbridge and the rest of the Brotherhood and Harris are back on the other side, that crank starts to go again, and it starts to raise up behind you.
Do any of my boys have chance to get in here with me, or actually?
Did you want them to?
No. She's gonna like look back as it cranks and
there
put
are a
out
couple
like
of horses kick up. They start to go. There's a bit of kind of, like just before a race kicks off, there's a bit of a kind of like shifting around of horses. But yeah, you stop them.
Yeah, she puts out like it'll be okay, hopefully, hand. Before she sort of like, walks. She's shitting herself right now. Like this is like the fear is here, but she's gonna try and keep a cool, calm expression as she just continues on.
And you ride up towards them, dismount presumably just before you get to the door.
Yeah.
And the spearmen no longer have a pointed spear position, but are standing either side to let you through. And you can see this Master at Arms standing in the hallway, like the antechamber of House or Blackmont Keep. Roll me a cunning memory check.
cunning memory. Ooh. Cunning. 9. Maria, what the fuck?
This is Montrose Stone. This is Starpike's Master at Arms. Ellery's Master at Arms.
Okay.
As you walk inside and you take some bread and salt, you notice that the 6 spearmen walk back in, close the door behind them, and start to, in pairs, head off into the keep. There don't seem to be any other guards around you in this immediate vicinity, but you look through into the hall, into a couple of other antechambers. You can see 1 or 2 Blackmont guards here as well, with garrison. You recognise them from their features and their Dornishness rather than their colours necessarily. But the 6 spearmen that greeted you are definitely Reacher men rather than Dornish.
Mm-hmm.
And so you are invited in. A maester approaches you as well, and kind of, middle-aged maester, slightly balding, with a kind of rough beard, kind of the length of Tom's rather than like a proper beard, a longer one.
Rather than a proper beard, Tom. Get blasted.
No, rather than Tom's, wild man beard. And this is Maester Yobbert.
Yes.
Because of course
Maester Yobbert.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And he asks, a guest, Montrose? And he confirms that. He says, confirms who you are. And he looks sad and concerned for a second. You see that in his face, and then he bows fairly deeply. And then he says, "My lady, please come with me."
Okay.
And if you were to follow him, he leads you to the Blackmont Solar. And this is up a couple of flights, and is a beautiful office with a lovely skylight that heats the room as much as the heat of the day outside. He closes some fancy Westerosi fantasy blinds or something. I don't know. And maybe I'm taking my subconscious notes from Dune. I don't know. Yeah, he closes some shutters along the ceiling. Yeah, there's a kind of like an iron bar, and it's like a squeak, squeak, squeak as he's like towing this, and there's kind of this agonizing wait while he does that. There doesn't seem to be any. It seems like this castle is all but deserted. There doesn't seem to be many people around, and Blackmore wasn't left in a great state really, and obviously Ellery was really one of the only key surviving members of House Peak, and certainly the main line of House Peak, and so it would really only be him if he was here. But Ellery isn't here.
Uncle Blackmont's wife, because they were there at Blackmont because part of Miria going to see Ellery was also to check in on her family.
If you're asking the Maester, he could answer.
Yeah.
I'm afraid the situation is a little delicate.
Delicate? How so?
Her ladyship is under house arrest. Just confined to her rooms and her quarters thereabouts, just while we wait. Although the gods know what for. Would you sit down?
I think Miria is kind of giving him like what the fuck is going on, dude? Face. But she takes off her riding gloves and sort of sits, and she's got a very questioning look on her face as she's trying to get the measure of this guy. Like, what is going on? And I think there's a little impatience to it too with her expression.
And he's got that look of a maester about him, where they kind of hide their hands in their large sleeves, and he's just kind of like he's like a head with like a lump for a body, because he's just kind of got that long flowing dark brown robe. So you're not really getting anything else out of him. He just invites you to sit.
What's happening here, Maester? Where's Ellery? Where is anyone?
My lady, have you heard the news from Horn Hill?
I heard that a host has gathered there, that Lord and Lady Tarly had taken some prisoners.
We have heard, and we have reason to believe it, that Lord Ellery, unfortunately, was taken prisoner that night too. But only momentarily. For the grace of the gods, he was killed by them.
Miri's eyes widen and her jaw visibly clenches. He was killed.
So they say. We have heard nothing from Starpike. We have heard nothing of Lord Ellery since.
And like tears are stinging at like the corners of her eyes as she's trying to hold her shit together and remain like ladylike. And her hands are like white knuckle as she's just like gripping her hands.
There's that clunk of a door handle behind you, and the thick wooden door opens up behind you, and inside slips Montrose Stone. And he closes the door behind him, not turning his back. And he kind of looks over to the maester, and he kind of tries to take a glance at you from behind you, and then says, "You've heard the news then, my lady?"
Miria nods as she's staring at the maester. How?
Execution, perhaps. Perhaps thrown off the castle wall. Some accounts give that he...
Please do not seek to spare my feelings. Tell me what you know.
If I were to surmise what was happening, it's that the Tarlys were in some conspiracy in order to imprison key members of the Reach and make them defect to the Pretender King, Daemon. If Lord Ellery refused, then perhaps execution was on their agenda.
I see. And you have heard nothing since.
No, he shakes his head a little, and then Montrose speaks from behind you. Things are getting very difficult here, my lady. People are beginning to talk. Eyes are beginning to look. You'll have to excuse me, but we are not welcome here. And we never really have been. If the Blackmonts and their small folk have an excuse to depose us from this keep, then they will. We are barely holding on. I am barely holding on to the loyalty of the Blackmont soldiers that we have here at Garrison. And I have but half a dozen men here from Starpike I can trust.
That would explain why my aunt is under house arrest then.
if there is, and he looks very pained to kind of, he wants to say something, but he glances at the maester briefly, and you notice that he does. And then he actually takes a couple of steps towards you, as if kind of breaking that kind of silence and that tension, to say, "My lady, if there is nothing here for us, then perhaps we will go and ride for the Black Dragon as well. You've come with men and horses. And what say you?"
And she like takes a moment there, like a heavy sigh. It is no secret that I have declared for the Black Dragon. Partially why I had come here was to convince Ellery to join me. How do we maintain peace here for the time being?
The maester begins with some semblance of lawful ideas, and Montrose cuts him off and just says, "We don't. We leave them to their holdfast and their homesteads when we ride north. First to Starpike, we find out what's going on at Starpike, and then we ride for the Black Dragon."
I feel that returning Blackmont to the Blackmonts is a good thing. I think that given the right person, that can engender some trust and perhaps an ally. At times like these, we need as many allies as we can. We should not cut and run. If I am afforded a chance to speak with my cousin Greenmont or my aunt, perhaps we could arrange something.
If we head out to your men and horses, are we welcome?
Yes.
Well, let's make the arrangements then. And the maester begins to argue, but it seems that Montrose's mind is made up. And more as a man of action, he swings into action. And essentially, I think you would have to make some introductions and just make it known with the Brotherhood that they are going to be riding with you. Yeah. And then, as quietly as they can, Montrose and a couple of his knights begin to make horses ready and stuff like that, so that they can basically just abandon the keep. Mm-hmm. Just the 7-8 of them. The maester is invited along too, and so if you want to take the maester with you, I guess you've got the maester
traveling maester.
You've got no. You've got the maester to Starpike with you, essentially.
Oh yeah. That will be handy. Yeah, we'll take him with us too.
All right. Yeah. Cool. A couple of bonus dice came in. I'm just going to sort them out because I'm so freaking tired. I can't do two things at once.
Yeah, you good.
Enzo got one. Congratulations, Enzo.
I think if we're gonna just like sneakily peace out with these guys, Miria leaves a letter for her Blackmont family, which is basically like, what was once yours is now yours again. From the love of the daughter of Elise. And then at the bottom is like, whatever men might leave or whatever, like to sign off as the Blackmont thing. Because sneakily, Miria had always kind of low-key wanted to get Blackmont back to Blackmont as payment for what her uncle did for her and just her own sort of like family's pride, even though she never knew her own mother, but she's still kind of
nice.
What do you mean low-key, Susanna Grace?
High key.
Yeah, fantastic. We don't have to play it out, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. Essentially, Blackmont control is returned to what would be then, I guess, your cousin Raymar.
So I think he's younger than Miria is. I think he's like,
Yeah, I think he's like a teenager or some shit, right?
yeah, he's like 14, 15-ish.
Yeah. Wasn't Raymar, who was Ellery's squire?
It was Raymar because Miria had convinced Ellery to take Raymar as a squire.
Raymar's not here. Raymar's not here.
Oh,
man.
fuck me. No, he'll be with Ellery, won't he? At fucking Horn Hill.
Raymar is a hostage at Horn Hill.
Fuck. Okay, well, that's another mess I've got to sort out.
So
Okay.
it's Lady...
Tyene.
Is that what we called her? Okay.
Yep. Lady Tyene.
Hopefully
Blackmont.
he's not dead at Horn Hill with Ellery. Who knows?
Tell you, if they kill more of my fucking family, that's it. They're done.
telling
I mean,
you,
they're done anyway.
The tagline for the season is "Fuck the Tarleys." Okay, like
It's not fuck the Tyrells anymore.
all the Targaryens were on the Tarleys now.
Yeah. So Tyene Blackmont is now in control of Castle Blackmont. She won't declare either way right now because they're in a mess.
I mean, that's fine.
So
Oh yeah, they're a shit show.
no,
But there's that gesture of a family,
you get
and a
the
friendship there.
absolutely, and you get the impression that she'll kind of help if she can or when she can, but she would also be quite happy just taking the fealty of or swearing the fealty to whoever wins because fuck this right now. Basically.
That's fair. It's Miria's good deed for the day
what I
before
thought.
she just destroys someone else's life.
It's a beautiful kind of mirroring thing to end this scene on because Marcia will open with you and Enzo looking out over the castle walls with a few of the Hollow Hearts around you and the rest of the garrison moving through the keep. Because on the horizon to the north are a whole host of torches as a small host of soldiers is camped out in besiegement of Fox Hollow. Taking a tour around the castle walls, the top walls of and the towers that you have built only a few years ago. To the south as well, past Fox Hollow Hamlet, down the little valley that would lead to where you had the tourney. The tourney grounds now presumably just visible in the faint distance, now taken over by a few more campfires as a few more of those men and a few horses have taken route in order to blockade the southern route through as well. You have a very defensible position here up at Fox Hollow. However, if you are blockaded and no supplies are to come through, it's going to be very difficult. You're going to have a very, very difficult time of it. So you are fairly safe up here, but the routes out of your holdings are blocked by this siege. You have been... the Herald has come through to announce that House Karen, so Lord Pierce Karen, is besieging you on the orders of the Tarleys and in defense of the Black Dragon, King Daemon, Daemon II.
Hang him from the walls. Let his screams herald that we are not putting up with this. Call the devoted and the hollowed hearts. And basically her plan is going to be devoted to going straight in at night. We're not waiting for daybreak. We're not waiting for any of that bullshit. Guerrilla fighters straight out. And then as the time cranks on, hollowed hearts will go out and clean up.
All right. I was
not having this bullshit, Samuel Tarly. It's not happening. Not on my lawn.
Could I at least prepare for this and give you some Okay, cool. So what you're coming up with a kind of plan of attack. Please please come up with a plan of attack so you can let me prep. But also, I love the fact that the herald is hung from the top of the walls, and so when a parlay party comes along, and annoyingly, Pierce Karen within arrow range of your garrison, but your archers are away at Hornhill, shooting any bird they can see.
Solid Hearts can also shoot.
They're not as well equipped, unfortunately.
They're not.
And they are very much.
But I am that kind of a bitch, Sam.
Personal guard. All right. Well, you give it a good shot.
Actually, the devoted are the ones that can shoot. I think. I don't know what they've got.
Yeah,
the devoted
yeah.
have just got slings.
Yeah, it's short range. Yeah,
It's
no,
just
it's
shitty
fine.
slings.
It's fine.
So they go, eh.
So we've got house units. We've got. Oh yes, the Greenmont archers are off. The devoted have got slings, so there's a few slingshots towards them. Let's say one, red shirt comes off his horse or something, but there are, shields go up, and old lovey boy Pierce Karen is ridden off
and I'll
back to the
have
north.
my appropriate gentleman. Is our old dude still alive?
Babblebrook?
Babblebrook?
I hope so.
I don't think he is.
Oh,
Not
Sam,
that
so harsh.
Not that I did something to him, but he was old, right?
Yeah, he was old.
Can't you just say he was retired? Instead, he's dead.
Tom,
No,
he
he's
went to
dead.
live on a farm, okay?
Yeah.
Very
That's at
happy
least
on a
He went to
farm.
live on
like
the
to
same
see.
Dornish farm that Oliver went to, and that Miri had the dreams about.
Okay,
That's too far.
Okay,
Sam.
so
That's
I'll
hurtful.
have an appropriately loud and commanding presence. Oh, no, fuck it. Sakiri. I'm going to give her the job, even though that's not her actual title. She is going to... Shit, what was she going to say? Oh, she's going to declare there are no guest rights for the Tarleys or their allies here or anywhere in the Reach.
Nice. Yeah, and the parlay party is ridden off to the north, back towards their camp, where they stay for a number of nights while you organize your resistance. In the meantime, one person does get through. And in fact, what you find is that a few people have been able to come and go from the house. It doesn't seem, from the days that you spend in the garrison watching vigilantly for you, it doesn't seem that Pierce Karen has much interest in really trying to properly maybe even take Fox Hollow. He's not building any siege equipment. They don't seem to be cutting down trees to make ladders. They don't seem to be having brought any siege equipment with them. It seems that they're either here for the long haul, or this is somewhat of a strategic move by the Black Dragon. Some small folk have been allowed to come and go, and they've even brought some small supplies with them, which makes Kiri think that they're not really here to properly besiege Fox Hollow. Because if they were, they wouldn't be letting anything get through because they want to starve you out. But one person does get through. And for Enzo, that's Ren.
Oh, good old Ren.
And she arrives, greets both of you in a quiet moment in the main hall, with little Bryn away for just a moment. Enzo, she gives you a letter, but to your surprise, she also gives Lady Marcia a letter and the gift of a book.
I didn't get a book.
Glad to see that you believe you have time to read, Enzo.
I suppose. If it's going to be a long siege, I would need something to entertain myself.
It will not be a long siege.
I'm glad to hear it.
We've all got better things to do. And she's been in this mood ever since they turned up. And it's like basically extended since she heard what happened at Horn Hill. And you know that for like the last 4 days, she's been trying to, or how many days it's been, she's been trying to write a letter to Miria. And every time she's gotten so angry, there's ended up being holes in the paper or, you know, it's been thrown in the fire. And she's like trying to get her thoughts like down. And where she's only, you know, not that long ago really learned to read and write, she's getting frustrated with herself where she's making mistakes and it's got to be perfect. It's given her something to focus on that she can control, and she's not even in control of that. She's just
actively worried about correcting her grammar.
And Salastria has just been pacing, just permanent state of pacing.
Who wants their letter first?
Well, Enzo probably will excuse himself briefly and ask Ren to come with him, and he'll go to the side and, like, in a room or something to talk to her and open the letter.
Mm-hmm.
Matsu, if you would like to do yours first.
Oh, I was going to let you do yours first. I know how eagerly you've been waiting for this.
Lady
this
of the
lesson
house
song.
goes first.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's me. Okay, so...
You see, in a feminine cursive, "My dearest sister, a gift to tide you through the long, dreary days. The circle of life has greater meaning for those of us who wish to see it. We must trust that while we have each other, all will end well. Send my eternal love to our grumpy old uncle. I long to speak with him. I have so many new stories that might bring a smile to his face. Perhaps if I wrote to him, you could help him read my writing? Some people find it rather difficult to understand. Yours in friendship, Deirdre Sal."
She just...
Accompanying the letter is a very boring history book. Very old, leather-bound, very nondescript.
She goes back to the letter and like reads it again and is like, what is happening here? How am I getting the wrong post? Like...
No, I've chucked it in chat for you as well.
I'm at number 47, not 45. Send it next door.
Yeah.
Where did you put it? Sorry, Sam.
Oh, with the Roll20 chat, actually.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Okay.
Enzo. This for you. "My lord, I saw you dancing with a far prettier maid than I when we last met. I hear that she will soon be travelling home, so I'm sure that her company will give you far greater comfort than I. If you truly remain my friend, light a candle for me and stay safe in your travels."
Could I have it in the text?
Absolutely.
Insert gif of math woman here as we discombobulate our secret messages.
Yeah. Welcome to the puzzle portion of the game. Yeah.
Things were much simpler when we had our own house cipher.
It was just wise.
Just wise.
What got annoying was that because we were just replaced all the vowels with Y's, we could start reading it. That's what got irritating.
There was more to it though than that.
There's a slight smirk to Enzo, and he kind of gets the piece of paper and he'll sniff it a little and give it a little kiss, and he'll give Ren a silver stag and tell her, whatever, it's yours, more will be coming. And he's going to head back to the main thing with Marcia, where
Mhm.
Marcia is. Who's actually in? Is it busy, the hall? Is Bryn there and everyone there, or?
There now is probably some. No, it's very quiet. The small folk are keeping kind of fairly locked up, and the castle is fairly quiet. The guards are more on edge than usual, but they are positioned more along the walls and the vantage points of the castle, rather than trying to protect the inside areas like they were when the feast and stuff during the festival was on.
I would like to actually, before I leave Ren's room, I want to pick up a candle and have a look at the piece of paper to see if there's any hidden messages, like she has done.
You got me when I had to be
previously.
drinking, didn't you? Right, hang on.
Yep.
Right, let's see if the volume on this works, Millie. Hang on, I haven't tested this at all.
My clever boy, words are cheap. Actions are priceless. Rose Road, Butcher, why?
Okay. I think I got all that. It was pretty quiet.
Yeah. So I can also give this to you as well. I'll put it on Discord, to be fair. It's much easier to follow. And above the Rose Road Butcher Y, there is a drawing of an eye with a scar in the shape of the Mander below it.
Okay, hang on. Where's the Mander? Oh, right, there it is.
The Mander is the river that flows from Highgarden right the way up to Centaur Boy up here towards King's Landing. So it's got that kind of three-pronged scar to it, where it's got the Blueburn, the Cockles went, and the Manders all sinking into each other.
Okay. Okay. And he'll... Oh, sorry, could I have the voice? I mean, if you don't want the voice or what it says again.
My clever boy.
I know what it means. I just
words
are
cheap.
Right.
Actions are priceless. Rose Road, Butcher, why?
Okay.
And that's in Letters from Ravens for you as well.
Brilliant. Let's have a look.
Oh, no, it's not. Why didn't I copy that bit?
And it's got a little... Okay. And it's got like a little map of the Mander and you said an eye over it?
Yeah. So it's literally... man, is this even going to show up on my camera? I don't know. It's literally... It looks like someone's drawn a quick little eye, little teardrop eye, and then underneath it, it looks like they've drawn the route of the Mander and its subsidiary rivers that flow into it underneath it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. And he'll kind of roll that up, tuck it away. Well, no, we won't tuck it away, but he'll make sure that the writing fades, and he'll head back out into the main with Marcia, and he will come out and go up to Marcia. He goes, "Well, it would seem that Faye sends word from Horn Hill."
Perhaps you can tell me what the hell she's talking about. And she hands the letter over. She's back to
I'll have a
pacing.
look.
And she's going to take the book over to the desk and just begin leafing through it, but she's more waiting to hear what Enzo makes of the...
Okay, I'll have to
Depending on how distracted you want to feel while he's rereading you the letter, the book, as you leaf through it, seemingly randomly, has words circled in it. One word on a page circled, a few more, another word is circled in a paragraph about halfway down the right-hand page. A few pages, another word is circled a couple of pages later.
I imagine Bryn is here, but mostly because Marcia just is permanently keeping an eye on him right now because there's a sieging and the tallies are awful.
And the
So
Hollow
she's
Hearts are
actually
close as well, yeah.
going to give Bryn the book, and she's going to ask him to go through and see if he notices anything about the words. Words are not her strong suit. She can't focus on it. She knows there's like something weird about it maybe, but she's like, here you go, Bryn.
How many
gift.
how many dice of cunning do you think Bryn has?
85. He's a smart kid.
Well, he's only 5, so like 1 or 2.
Two.
Yeah, everyone's got at least 2.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone does have 2.
2 is like
Marcy's
normal.
only got 3.
Right?
So.
Yeah.
I mean, he is educated, but he's not.
But he's also
cunningly
5.
educated,
He's 5.
Right, yeah.
5-year-olds are not
seen what
cunning
5-year-olds
unless it's snack
can-
Well,
time.
that's why I'm giving him
Can
like one
absorb.
task, right, to focus on. It's like, here you go. Mummy
Trying to
needs you
think
to
if
do
my
this.
I'm trying to think if my nephew could figure this out, and I don't think he could. He's quite clever, but I don't think he could.
In all fairness, we're struggling. Well, I've got a general idea, but I need to know the timelines on the thing, right? So that I know. So for out of character me, when the Tarleys, how do I put this? When the Tarleys basically started to head to where they're ever going, where they're going now, was this sent before that happened, during or after?
Before they left.
Okay, because I'm thinking I've got the general idea. I know who Grumpy Old Uncle is, but I need to know whether or not Faye would know that they were going there as she wrote it.
You don't know? How would you know that?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Because I'm trying to figure out.
And Sam, I think the instruction to Bryn would be to just write out every word that's circled. And if he notices something, he notices something. If he doesn't, then...
In that case, so I will go to Marty and say, essentially, in this first sentence, I believe she's saying she's still your ally. And send eternal love to our grumpy old uncle. Well, that is, I believe, Maker. I think.
Yes.
It would seem that she has information for it. May I have a look at the book, my lord?
He looks a bit ticked off that you've asked him for that. And as you pick up the book off him, he doesn't offer much resistance because he knows you and he's only 5. But you do notice that in, a 5-year-old's good attempt at Westerosi calligraphy, he has already written, "My lady, though we have not yet."
You know what? In that case, I am going to work with him so we can solve this together. This will be a lesson for both of us.
Roll me a cunning logic test with a bonus dice from the young Lord Greenmont.
Okay, this reminds me, by the way, Sam, I shouldn't have a test dice or one bonus dice because I used those both last one to spread the word out, but you forgot to take them off. So I should only
thanks,
have one
buddy.
bonus dice.
Thanks, friend.
Okay, with a bonus dice, you said, huh?
With a bonus dice from the young Lord Greenmont.
Ooh, 13.
This is a fairly simple puzzle in that you ask Bryn where he just stopped, and you find the next word and the next word, and they begin to all make sense in order.
Bryn, I think you should tell your mother what the message is. My lord.
He comes over to you, Marcia. Do you guys... So she recorded this again for me. Do you want this in Millie voice or do you want this in Bryn voice?
We'll have it in both. Millie, get in the call and do it in Bryn's voice.
No, okay. Here we go. If you need the music up at all, the master volume thing in Roll20 is in your little cog wheel settings, and I'll play it for you now.
My lady, though we have not yet properly had the pleasure of each other's company, our mutual friend from distant lands has always spoken highly of you, and I've been following your progress with keen interest. Few understand the burdens we bear. I've always done my best to hush any rumours about you, and you have my utmost respect for your recent dignity and triumph in the garden. I pray that some of the rumours are true, though. The archer has a green serpent wrapped around his neck, and I fear that its poison will be deadly to all. I also pray that you take care of your pretty new ward and keep a close eye on your vineyard. Snakes come in all shapes and sizes. You have my friendship if you wish it. Deirdre.
Free. We got that for free.
Free, man.
You charges people for that.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Millie.
That's about 500 quid there.
Oh, Daeron, I'm gonna fucking.
I generally don't know. I generally don't know how much it is. I really don't.
I don't know either. I did tell her, please. I wasn't ever going to ask you to record anything because you literally charge people for that. So I'm never going to ask you. You wish. Oh, Millie. Okay. Maybe I can afford you. Okay. Yeah, I threw that up for you in Letters from Ravens and our Discord as well. Oh yes. So if you want to go over that at all again, you can.
Crammed so much information into that last part.
It's layered, isn't it?
It is.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
Yeah. I'm just very happy and smiling at Bryn. In all fairness, Matzia, he did most of it.
Of course. And she'll just kind of, like stroke her son's hair. And then she's gone back to pacing. She's busy thinking about the sieging people outside. She's kind of got snakes, tarlies, and she's like, yeah, I know all about fucking snakes and tarlies.
I think she is offering an assistance within the Tarly house for information. Should you need it?
This should be your task, Enzo.
Me?
Yes. Decide what it needs.
Of course. I have the person just for it, but there is somewhere I need to go. It is probably best you do not know too much. But it is something that I must do.
Every time a man of this house, so we gotta get it right, obviously. A man of this house leaves my sight, he does not return, Enzo.
I'm not just any man.
That won't protect you. Where are you going?
He gets a little closer and he kind of goes, I am going to find someone with information that is important to Faye. And I'm going to ensure that that person tells me all that information. It is a personal matter for her.
And it is clear in which bed your loyalties lie.
Matzia.
Enzo, we are at war.
You are at war.
She is entreating us for help.
Indeed. I do not know what you want me to do. I am no soldier. I am no commander. I do not fight in wars.
Everyone in Westeros fights in a war. How they fight is the difference.
And how would you like me to fight?
Figure out what it is she wants from me and make it happen.
I will do what I can, and then I will send forth a messenger to deliver said message. If you need me, I will be somewhere.
Assisting the Lady Rowan.
Assisting you both. And he'll kind of do a mocking bow and then head off. And as he heads off, he's totally taking a bottle of wine. And
she'll call out after him, "Take 2, Enzo." They've been friends for about 5 years. She knows.
She gets it.
He'll take 2. And head off. Right. I'm still a bit... So, can I roll to kind of like the letter, ask what she wants Marzia to do? Now, I've got a general idea maybe what she wants to do, but I want to be damn sure. So but can I kind of like take a look at it and read over it and use like, I don't know, cunning or something to?
Yes. I
Yes.
am
Do
unfortunately
you know
no.
what? Okay.
I am
And-
not the person
So
who knows everything now.
that's okay.
I didn't write this.
Okay. Oh, there is one thing that I need to tell Marzia that I completely forgot. And he'll kind of like head back into the thing, and he'll go, "Oh, what's her name? Lady Castella? That's Leo's wife, right?"
Casella.
Casella is Lady
Oh, Lady
Leo's wife.
Castella is heading back to High Garden. That is what she tells us. But you should know.
Well, at least she's not coming here to claim my house again.
No, but I think she could be a very valuable ally, particularly at this time.
Well, I had been considering offering to pay the ransom for her. Unfortunately, with the mine collapse, that was not an option.
Oh. Well, you don't need to now. It all worked out. And
Which direction are you going, Enzo?
what, now or when I leave?
When you leave? North, south, east, west?
I will be heading towards High Garden and then going north.
Would you make a stop in High Garden?
Of course.
Good.
I will have an extra glass for you if you wish it. We'll head off.
Charm another lady of the Reach. Remember, she's Dornish.
Okay, so now I'm going to go to the letter because I forgot that little part. It's very important to know. From what I understand, from what I can guess, and Millie can maybe hopefully pack me up with this. From what I understand, basically she's asking that she is still allied to Marzia, and she's working to help at least the Targaryens, from what I can tell, with the whole Unky thing.
Roll cunning logic for me.
Okay.
She wants Makar to know something
Yeah.
about what's going on.
Yeah. 10.
Okay. You can ask me one question about what she...
What does Faye want Marzia to know?
I think Millie's in chat. She's going to have to answer for me. But for the sake of the VOD and everything, I will read it out as well.
Okay.
Short and sweet,
Does-
Millie, please.
Does
I'm not
Costain
yet-
have a green snake on his standard? I don't even know what Costain's standard is.
No. The only snakes on standards are the Wills have a Blackadder that is biting an ankle.
The
Yep,
archer has a
okay.
great serpent snapped. Oh, I know what that means. Hang on.
I mean, I know who the archer is.
The serpent
I
is
just don't know who the serpent is for certain.
Tamara, isn't it? Tamara. That's who the serpent is. She's saying that Mara's wrapped around Samwell.
No shit, Sherlock.
Or maybe it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's like that, you know, like, I don't know, that maybe she's trying to tell us that her father is, that Samwell's father has been, like, you know, manipulated or something.
Faye wants Marzia to know that she is her ally and to send word to Makar so she can warn him of Tarly's movements.
There you go.
Already done.
Oh, you know, it's always handy to do.
Okie dokie. And with that, you away. Miria, coming back to
Hello.
you. Your approach next is Fox Hollow, I believe.
Yep.
So you are surprised to discover that as you think, I know where the tourney grounds were. That's quite a nice little area, a little glade that we can bed down on for the night and have a little camp before we actually arrive at Fox Hollow in the morning. It's already occupied. Occupied by seemingly Reacher Knights that you can see notice you in the distance as you and your flank of knights have ridden up this road along the river to the north. You can't quite make out from where you are exactly what emblems and such they have on them. I actually would like you to roll awareness notice with a -1 penalty dice.
Ooh.
For the darkness. So as they're flickering in the torchlight of some of their watch, you catch glances of colours and emblems.
16.
Oh. It is a yellow field marked with many little black birds.
Okay. Do I know who that is? Do I need to do a memory?
That
Knowledge,
I won't make
education?
you, because to be fair, that is a fairly close neighbour of yours. This is House
Okay.
Karen, and the leader of which is a well-respected and renowned knight that actually rode in the tourney that you had. And Lord Pierce Karen and his holdings, which are Night Song, are just to the north of the Prince's Pass.
Okay.
If he is camped out here, one of two things is happening. He is about to ride south, and he's crossed kind of not quite through Fox Hollow, but he's crossed nearby Fox Hollow and certainly encroached on Lady Marcia's lands. Or he is taking some kind of action against Fox Hollow.
Okay.
Roll me a knowledge streetwise check.
Famously good at that one. 9.
With a 9, I will give you that Lord Pierce Karen has declared for the Blackfyres.
Okay.
Why his men are here, you have no idea. What would you like to do?
I think Maria is gonna send a knight as an envoy forward, to sort of be like, hey, what's going on? Obviously much more knightly, but just to be like, announce that they are here. I mean, they obviously know she's here, but it's that being stately, being a lady, sort of like doing things properly by the book. And that if she knows declared for the black, then this envoy is gonna go forth and say, we are allies, arriving from dawn, and that the lady would like to speak to Lord Pierce Karen.
Your knight returns and lets you know that unfortunately Lord Pierce isn't here. He's on the northern side of Fox Hollow, in the valley there. These men are besieging Fox Hollow.
Maria is like extremely conflicted because these are her boys, these Blackfyre boys, but also this is where she grew up. She asked, because I imagine like she moves into the camp a bit further from here now, and asked if she would be granted permission to move through this sieging camp to Fox Hollow.
There's another sergeant, kind of master at arms type, quite a young, eager man, who out through a rounded helm, just framed by that kind of padded breast, and it's just it's pulling up his chin a little bit, with his tie underneath, says to you, "And what is your business at Fox Hollow?" And you can tell his eyes keep flicking behind you to the 20 knights that are riding. Maybe a bit further back behind you, but still present.
This was once my home, good sir. I've come to entreat with the Lady Marcia.
Why is that?
I seek to convince her, see the error of her ways, and join us.
Us.
You've declared for the Blackfyres, have you not?
My lord has, yes. We're Blackfyre men.
As am I, and my men.
Roll me a persuasion convince check.
Persuasion, convince. All right, we're rolling 6 die here. Come on, Mary, you can do it. 27! Holy shit, she can do it.
That's 5s and 6s, friend. 2 6s, 3 5s. Your demeanor and your the strength in your voice, if anything, is really what kind of convinces the guy. And there's a bit of laughter around the camp, but you are invited in, or at least invited to pass through. They ask is the kind of charitable way of saying. They tell you that like this is their camp, that you're to move on further north.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell from his not visible in his body language, but his nervousness, a little bit in his face and his eyes, that he does not want you and your knights camped with them, because if anything's going to kick off, they're not going to have a good time.
Yeah.
But you can see around you, and this most certainly has probably a good 100 infantry and just as many archers as well. Not within the camp altogether, but that's what you can assume is the kind of weight of numbers here, as probably a few more of them are out either poaching or just kind of keeping an eye on the castle up to the north, on that long slope up towards through Fox Hollow Hamlet and then up to the keep. You can, just in the distance, just make out a couple of little lights and fires that are maybe coming out of people's hovels and homesteads, and it doesn't seem like they're bothering anybody. You can't hear that kind of harassment of military or anything like that. So they seem to be camped here and just waiting. There's some good large camp and cook fires here, so they are definitely here on a siege. There are various tents. It's looking a lot different though than when it was at the tourney. No colour in this, nothing like that. These are proper large infantry tents that have been put up, and a few camp followers and kind of support servants are here, filling up tankards, and people are finishing off some food as well. It's good food too. It's probably better than you've eaten in a long while.
Yeah, things have been a bit shit at Ironwood, tons of scran. Okay, yeah, and I think sensing that sort of and seeing it firsthand, that energy here in this camp, Mary is not keen to piss off 100 men right outside the walls of Fox Hollow, because she's got 20 odd boys with her, and that's not probably gonna go well in her favor. So she
probably head up to Fox Hollow Hamlet itself.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. And I think for that extra,
point of
juice.
contention, why the fuck would my men let enemy forces come up the road? Question.
They weren't watching it.
There are approximately 350 men north and south of you. They're split between obviously the two sides of the keep, but you're down to 200.
Right, but why wouldn't Marcia be protecting her hamlet? She's always protected her people.
Yeah, no, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. You can order them to be out there guarding the hamlet as well. And so there's definitely some standoff moments between the two, but nothing kicks off.
Mm-hmm. I think on the approach to the hamlet and the keep, Miria has a couple of her like flanking knights unfurl ironwood banners and attach them to the end of their spears, so they're flying ironwood colors. But the
Your
new ironwood
colours?
colors, because that's how. Yeah, my colors, because that's in Westeros. You just have a flag like that if you want it. There's no lengthy process about dyeing silks, so we've got swish banners.
Okay. As you approach, you are asked to stop by a couple of the garrison, and then a couple of the devoted, really, who are here out in Hamlet. And it's a mix of forces, and then one of the armored hollow hearts comes walking up towards you, looking at the banners, and just before he actually gets up to you in order to speak to you, you can see there's a real apprehension in his voice, so he calls out to you into the darkness. Ironwood, he asks, declare yourselves.
And Miria is gonna sort of like, again, walk forward a little bit so she comes into the light. I am Lady Miria of Ironwood, returned home.
He looks really confused by that itself, that the way you've declared yourself, but he hears a voice, and so he takes a few more steps forward, and then in the torchlight that he's holding in his offhand, kind of holding it up into the sky to try and avoid the kind of night blindness that you can get from that, as he's trying to peer towards you, you see his eyes widen slightly, and then he takes a short bow and says, "My lady." Would you seek audience in the keep?
Yes, right away.
And you are led up, and soldiers around you, the devoted and the hollow hearts that are here guarding it, are asked to make way, and a runner is sent up to Lady Marcia. So Marcia, you are awoken just as you're drifting off to an unrestful sleep, having just got Bryn down by a runner who has said to you that Lady Miria has returned and has managed to get through the siege.
See her in the hall. And she's gonna drag her ass out of this bed.
I'm sorry.
She is just gonna go as far as basically throwing on something clean and a robe because it's cold, because it's night and she's tired. And she'll straighten her hair and head on down to the hall.
This is gonna be so bad. Timing has never been one of Miria's strong suits.
I think she'll also will Salastria to wake, and I think Salastria is equally unimpressed, as cats often are when you wake them and they're not in the mood.
Imagine it's like when you get up in the night for a wee and the cat follows you in. They're kind of half asleep still, but they're like, "Oh, we're doing a thing. Okay, off we go." Yeah,
Yeah.
She'll go up onto that plinth that the chair has always sat on and just bonk, deflate it.
And so, Miria, that is how you find Marcia as you are welcomed into the hall. For the sake of the scene, what does Miria look like now that she has been riding with the Brotherhood? How does she appear now?
So Miria, having spent a lot of time in Dawn as well, her skin has tanned much darker than it was living at Fox Hollow and being kept inside a lot. She's in her armor, her scale breastplate. She's got a sick pauldron going on. There's some really black sash with gold pattern on it that cuts across her chest. On her hip, she wears the sword of the Brotherhood, and she's got a big swishy cape over her shoulders. Her hair is pulled back and braided tightly to the back of her head. And she's carrying herself with this very, much more of a leadership sort of body language now. You know, her shoulders are back, her chin is high, and she's carrying herself with this confidence and this power as she sort of enters the hall.
It appears the Black Lance rides again.
Maria smiles, chuckles a little, and bows. Lady Marcia.
We're not riding in tournaments, though, are we, Maria?
We are not.
What news from Ironwood?
I am the Lady of Ironwood.
As you wished it.
It's been difficult, but I am glad.
But you have left your house.
It was never my house.
People there need you.
They do.
Why did you leave?
Because the realm also needs me.
Which realm?
You know which one.
Then you should be better placed in Dawn to protect it from the Tarleys and their idiot brethren.
Their time will come.
Their time is now. Did you
No.
not see their forces parked just down at the village? They must be stopped, the head cut off before its venom can spread.
There is a bigger problem at play right now, Marcia. The Tarleys will have their day, but it is not today.
And it is you, new lady, that gets to decide this.
If not me, who else? If not the other lords, who else?
What is it that brings you to Fox Hollow?
I had hoped to see you in Brynton, to talk to you.
To make a mockery of the fact that Lord Karen has set up a camp.
I did not know about the Lord Karen.
Perhaps you need to talk to the other lords.
It's precisely part of the reason why I am here. I'm headed north.
To where?
To Horn Hill. As I
Well,
said, the Tarleys will have their day.
don't let me delay you then.
You hear footsteps from behind you, Miria. As Marcia, you see a young man, just a little taller than Miria, stride through in similar kind of riding armor, but not of the Dornish style, of the Reacher style, and so there is silvery steel about him, and he bears the tabard of a white tabard with a red chevron with 3 white circles in it, the sigil of House Ball.
More guests for my hall.
May I introduce the Lord Ball?
My lady. And he kind of sideways glances to you, Miria.
Yeah, Maria's like, gives him the fuck me look out the corner of her eye.
Did you
Lady
not
Marcia,
hear of the dead? Do you not remember the murders that happened in this hall?
And Maria's face flashes fury across
There.
it for a minute.
There you are, Miria. Nice of you to join us. Welcome back to Fox Hollow.
How dare you throw that in my face? I am here to protect you, Marzia, to protect Bryn.
How?
By fighting to make a better place for him and Wyrland to grow up in. A place where we are not dominated by tyranny and corruption at every step. A place where a man's pride is wounded and he snatches a child from his mother's arms. Now, I understand that you want to cling to your peace, Marzia, that you want everything to be fine in the world. But unfortunately, that is not the world we live in. That is not the world that Bryn is growing up in.
Marcia turns to her attendant. Send word for the attack. See what peace I maintain.
If you do this, you will die.
So will you.
No. I am offering you a chance to protect the life of your son.
Look after Ironwood, Miria. And she's gonna stand. And in her head, she's thinking, I'm a crane, for one. So I'm gonna stand very tall. Here, Miria, I guard the way.
She looks at Marzia and she steps forward. It was often told to me as a child that the dragon is hungry. It is a pity to see you become the cattle.
Before the fire, there was blood, Miria. You're excused.
Take care, Lady Marzia.
Forget me not.
And Miria is gonna turn on her heel and storm out of that hall.
She's like, what a fucking teenager. She's here going all, tomorrow we'll have a utopia. And Martin's going, there's a fucking army on my lawn.
I wanted to interject a point of the scene, particularly where Marzia, maybe you didn't hear it at first, but where Marzia says, send word for the attack. There, you didn't register it at first, but Harris, in fact, let's play it. There's this moment. Harris like takes your elbow to stop you just for a second, just before you walk out of the door, and he looks at you and he just says, "Listen." And you can hear the cries, the war cries, and the screams of men from the northern side, down beyond the bridge, down the valley, from presumably the northern camp that House Caron is residing in. How many men are here?
I would know that.
You have seen Hollow Hearts, you have seen Devoted, you have not seen any of the yeomen, any of the archers. So
Okay.
if they are not here, 200. If they are here, 300. There are about 200 Karen men to the south. You don't know how many they might have to the north.
Yeah, so she would say around 200 to 300 men, though I have not seen the Yeomen of the Valley.
We had 200 men to the south.
Would you kindly conspire outside of my hall,
And he looks back.
my lord?
Gives you a bow of the head, and then he walks and entreats Miria with his body language to walk with him.
Miria is going to turn to one of her knights, and she is going to she's going to say, if the fighting, if the castle should fall, bring the Lord Bryn to me.
Harris looks at you after you've said that. He says quietly in the the room just aside, or the kind of entrance way that you've got. There aren't any guards in here, weirdly, with you, and so they seem maybe preoccupied with what's going on outside. But he says, "Let's ride north. Let's see what this host has. Let's see what chance this house has."
Mm-hmm.
It would be stupid of me to ask you if you feel it's worth saving.
There was be a time where I would have said yes. And like her face she's heartbroken. Like, you know, she's not happy about this. And again, I think tears are at the corner of her eyes. I feel Lady Matsu is too far gone.
We're not safe here.
No, we should go now.
And you leave for the northern side of Fox Hollow.
Sam, I want to have signaled another attendant in the midst, if that's okay.
Absolutely. What would you like to do?
And the instruction is to wake Enzo, to tell him that things have changed, and she believes he should run to the garden and take Bryn with him.
Oh, did Enzo leave? Or did you just go to... Oh my god, okay, I got the wrong end of that stick. Okay, fine. Enzo, you are you up still drinking, or are you drunk asleep?
Probably drunk asleep, to be honest.
Okay. Flat out drunk asleep. You're woken with a start by an attendant. And you've got that grogginess. You're not quite sure what's going on again. You kind of the world kind of rotates and spins as you claw yourself back up from the bed, and you realise that you are still drunk. And okay, mate. No, okay. I just went to sleep then. Okay. Oh god. Ugh. And Charlie, sorry. What was your instruction?
Run to the garden and take Bryn with you.
And that's what they confer to you. Run to the garden and take Bryn with you. Run to the Godswood and take Bryn with you.
Okay.
Well, her implication is more high garden, but whether or not he gets that.
Oh, sorry. Run to the garden.
She's referencing the letters that we've been going.
When she said garden, I assumed high garden.
Run to the garden and she said run to the garden and take Bryn with you. Are we to the Weirwood? What's going on?
Go prepare Bryn for a long journey.
A long journey?
Just do what I say, and I will speak to Matsia.
But the devoted they're attacking the Karen men.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And Bryn is to... And, she's just really worried, but she hurries off, and she gets Bryn ready for you.
I want to see Matsia.
Okay. With or without Bryn?
Without Bryn. So while he's getting everything ready, he's going to go immediately to Matsia.
Sure. Yeah. Where does Enzo find you?
I think she is walking along the oldest corridor that was kind of maintained when the castle was built around. And she's kind of just walking along, and she's remembering when she first came to the halls and all of the people that have passed through them. I think she's hearing in her mind some of the most awful moments here and some of the happiest. I think she's talking a little to Oliver in her own mind, wishing that Miria could protect his legacy, wishing that she was there protecting Dawn. She fully believes in her heart that Dawn needs Miria. And as she passes by the last window, which looks towards the Godswood path, she begins basically telling them that one day the children of Greenmont will return. And until they do, she will protect the land. but that tonight the soil of Greenmont will be drenched in blood.
Absolutely. And so, Enzo, you find her in a corridor.
Oh, Matsia. Oh, 1 second. Oh, why am I leaving now? What has happened?
Maria came.
What? Is she okay?
She's preparing for war with the Targaryens. Not preparing. Marching.
What?
And she's definitely in like that kind of like foggy, I'm processing a lot kind of a...
Why would she side with the Blackfyres?
She's her father's daughter.
Oh yes, this Oliver that people talk about.
As you dream of a lavish bed filled with gold, so they dream of spice-scented air and stories and sovereignty.
But they will get no sovereignty from the Blackfyre. I mean, they're essentially Targaryen, and they're the
This
same.
argument has raged for longer than either of us.
Of course. Why do you want Bryn to leave now? I thought the plan was to...
I ordered the attack, and I don't know if we'll win. He needs to go to Highgarden. He is the Lord Greenmont. You should shelter the Lady Cassella.
well, that is a sound thing. You can come with us. You can come. I'm sure we can both get you out.
Someone must remain here.
Why?
A house without a leader. It's just stones.
But by the morning, from what you're talking about, you won't even be alive, so the house will be just stones anyway. What does it matter?
The house will live as long as Bren lives. As long as Waylon lives.
Then come with him.
I do not believe the castle will fall. They weren't prepared. I took advantage of that.
Okay, I will do as you ask. I will take him to Highgarden, and I will protect him as best as I can. Do you want just me and my companions, or you send in any guards with us?
I have none to spare.
That is fine. Less is probably better to stay beneath notice.
Oliver was so angry with me when Waylon was taken. So angry I didn't fight. Never been a fighter, and so...
Could have fooled me.
I have one last trick.
I need you to... If this doesn't work, and the castle falls, I need you to tell me that you will just surrender.
She'll reach out and place a hand on his shoulder and just gently pat it. Marcia doesn't lie. If I fight and I fall, then that is as the gods will it. If I fight and I win, I won't be stopped.
Well then. Make sure you win. And he'll kind of grasp her hand, like, gently, and squeeze it. I hope I see you again, my dear, dear friend, Marcia.
Send word to my brother at Red Lake for me. Remind him there is always more to a crane.
You take care. I need to pronounce this right. Genvise en Bellon, which is Targaryen for beauty of the mountain. And he'll kind of squeeze and take a hand and nod, and he'll head to Bryn, get all his companions ready, and get ready to try and sneak out. There is one thing that I do want to do beforehand, though. As we leave, I am going to tell my companions to keep an eye on Bryn. There's someone I need to see. I'm going to try and find Miria.
Miria, I want to know what your / Harris's plan is right now. So as you leave the northern end of Fox Hollow, out of those large doors just in front of you, we're back where the Oakheart has advanced on the house. We're just at that little kind of little road from those double doors and the actual kind of barbican of the keep now, going down to that little bridge. Now it has a little kind of couple of watch posts on it. And then further winding down the valley, then you can see out various fires and little lights that are darting around. You can hear the war cries and the screams of soldiers fighting in the darkness. Undoubtedly, the Devoted are using their guerrilla tactics as best they can to their advantage, but maybe not striking or hitting every target as they're firing in the darkness. And the Caron camp to the north that you can see is in disarray as they're trying to form up and they are trying to initiate a counterattack in order to try and assuage the besieged people, that they can try and scare them off.
I'll assume that a runner has already been sent to the southern forces. I mean, the second the fighting kicked off, right, and the screams and stuff started, the southern forces were probably alerted.
You would hope so.
Hope so. But Miria, for a while, trained these men and oversaw them. She acted as master at arms for a while at the house, so she knows the Devoted's tactics. And she is going to get down there and try and help the Karen forces, but with the orders with her men to try and take prisoners, try not to kill the Greenmont men where they can, but try and get this to a ceasefire as soon as possible.
Okay. And so the Brotherhood, you and Harris, ride down the valley and at a gallop try and find any of the Devoted and try and take them out. Do you want a little scrap?
Yeah. I haven't had a scrap this season yet. But also, this is awful. She doesn't enjoy any of this.
All right. Make me a awareness notice check.
Awareness notice.
As you bound down the valley, you are trying to see every nook and cranny that you know from... I was about to say growing up here. You didn't.
She did for a little while.
For a bit. I had like a solid 10 years, and then there was a while at Summer Hall, and then after that there's a while at Ironwood.
Yeah.
And then another 5 years.
Don't forget the Red
here,
Mountains.
So,
Yeah.
I've
I've been here, I've been around.
All right. Trying to remember as best you can in the darkness the nooks and crannies that they would hide in and they would use their advantage, some of the little ravines or cliffs or whatever it is. And trying to keep your horse on track there. From your notice, try and find some of these boys.
17.
17's good. Okay. What would be their passive stealth anyway? 12. Nice. Okay, cool. So, bounding down the valley, you manage to find a small cluster of the Devoted, flinging slings down the hill towards some of the counter-attacking Pierce infantry. They've got another seemingly infantry is starting to make its way up here as well. You can hear horses and a unit of those being organised below you further to the north. But you managed to find some of these Devoted. I need you to roll for me, please. Agility quickness check. as they notice you.
Oh,
6. Any bonus in quickness?
Yeah, I got 1.
Okay, they haven't, so you are going to go first. So there's this moment where you just find them, they just see you, and before you both know it, you are basically at each other's throats.
Oh shit, I need the combat cheat sheet.
You will get a bonus test die, +1 test die from riding on horseback, whereas these boys are not.
That's right.
Yeah, you were riding these people down.
Yep, it sucks, and I think Miria is desperately not looking into their faces just in case she recognizes any of them, because if she does, she'll falter.
It's hard to do. They've smudged their faces with soot and soil. They have done all they can to hide here in the kind of a little bit of the foliage and the rock that is around this valley road.
Okay, so I got a test die. I'm sorry. Oh wait. I get a +1d to fighting test when I'm using my spear, which she will be. So, oh boy. 17.
17 against their combat defense of 8 is 3 degrees of success.
Okay, and that will be 9.
8, 13. 2 degrees of success. Sorry, 18 would have been 3. 6 damage?
Yeah.
Is that it?
No, wait, hang on. Yeah, because it goes by her agility, right? And her agility is 3.
Yeah, that's right.
But wait, I have a Castle Forge spear, so that's like 7 damage because that's a +1 to damage, right?
No, it's a +1 to your attack.
Oh, okay.
Damage is
I
only
would
from
have got
Valyrian steel.
Success.
I would have
Then
gotten
you
an
would've
18 then.
Then you would have got
3.
3 degrees of success. Yeah.
So
You might want to do yourself
9.
a little. You want to do yourself a little macro for
Yeah, I need to. Yeah.
There's a damage mod in there. Is there a fighting mod? No, there's not.
Where's my
Why
fucking
didn't they do
pens
that?
at?
Alrighty. So yes, so you run this poor fucker down, and then you can hear the galloping of your 20 other horses, plus Harris behind you, running and leaping over these little cliffs, these little kind of rocks and ravines, and so they are just like they're pouring down this valley like rain. And so the devoted are being caught up in one, like a literal hammer and anvil, a pincer movement between these two forces as uphill the Karen forces begin to counter attack. I'm going to throw a couple of slings your way as they.
I also have a counter.
Ooh, a counter. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me throw some. Is it thrown? Sure. Let me throw some marksmanship her way. A 12 against your combat defense.
Nope.
And a 8 against your combat defense.
Nope.
Wow, okay. So these slings whip past your head as they're trying to hit you as more of your men start to... And actually some of them, as you're kind of maybe pulling up a little bit, just kind of making your way through, you can see other knights beside you of the Brotherhood jumping either side, jumping down these ravines and making their way down towards the bottom of the valley. Charlie, what's your counter count?
Marcia has stopped in Oliver's room. Well, the rebuilt Oliver's room. And she's collected something of his and has wandered to the Godswood. And she has sat with that thing gripped in her hand. And she's begun searching. And she's basically, Sam, what I'd like to try and have her do is hop through the minds of every beast she can find. And she's looking for horses.
Mm-hmm.
And what she wants to do is instill fear in the horses, and she wants to fuck up the cavalry by spooking their horses.
Okay. Yeah.
This would be like an extremely difficult task. It doesn't say in the rules that I have to be able to see the animal. It does say I can go into any, but because she hasn't achieved full skin changer, that's the kind of the balance of it.
I'm just going to make a simple test kind of call here, really, as a GM for this. This is going to be like... To do that on a kind of a scale like that, and to hop between the beasts and to find them in your mind, this is going to be a difficulty 21 will test. This will be dedication.
Yep. I've got an extra keep dice on my screen somewhere, right?
Yes, you have, yeah.
And 4 bonus dice?
And 4 bonus dice.
What are our rules? How many can I burn at a time? It's no more than our total, right, Will?
I would still say that you can't roll more bonus dice than you have in test dice for what you are rolling.
All right, so I am going to be using 3 of those bonus dice and that 1 keep dice.
Okay.
Temporarily up her will to 6. And so that's a total of 5 bonus dice. Special. I can make. Close. 23.
Oh my god, that was
I
so
have
close.
lucky. I want to use my lucky feat to do my once a day reroll, where she's gonna just push to the end of her thing, and it's our last shot. I've got to take whatever the result is.
I'm right in thinking. I don't know if I'm right in thinking. I don't know if you want me to check whether you have to roll all of the dice or whether you can pick which ones to re-roll. I don't know. I think it's just re-roll the result, isn't it?
It just says re-roll 1 test. That's all I have here.
We'll re-roll the test then.
Mm-hmm. I'll try it. Why not? I only get it once a day. 27.
Oh! Holy shit!
Fucking hell. With 2 degrees of success.
Can I flavor it to explain how it happens?
Yes, you can do 1 extra whatever the fuck you want.
She's willing so hard, and she's got, I'm gonna imagine it's like one of Oliver's like talismans from winning a tournament or something like that, a small thing, but she's gripping it so hard that it's begun to dig into her skin, and there's just like blood going down her arm from where she's like making herself bleed, and the blood is dripping down and onto that tree, that worn tree where so many ghosts of Greenmont have sat before.
Yeah.
And down into the lawn before that weeping godswood just across from her. And I think as she strikes the horses that she's looking for, her eyes go wide, but she's not seeing here.
Yeah.
And she's just staring at that godswood tree.
Yeah. So the horses around you, Miria, you start to see begin to bolt in different directions, or they rear up against their riders. These are trained war horses. These aren't meant to do this. Something has spooked them, something around, and you get that sense, and for just a second on the wind you think you hear Marzia's voice, or maybe she's just behind you, but there is this horrible feeling of kind of a shadow moving around, like you actually feel like there is something here spooking the horses, but you don't know what it is. And suddenly yours rears up against you as well. I'm going to need you to make me a difficulty 15 animal handling test. Ride
15?
bonus dice apply.
Okay, let's use a bonus die and a keep die because I have 2 of them. Oh, no, not 34. That would be ridiculous amount of dice to roll.
Yeah, don't roll that.
But hey, I wouldn't fall off. Okay.
Rugby Mad does want to remind you that you have bonus dice as well, Susie.
Thank you, Rugby. All right. Ooh.
I'm so
13. No.
So you rear up. It rears up. You fall. And I want to knock you out, but I want to see if you actually are knocked out or not. Roll me. Fuck it. Roll me endurance. Resilience. Difficulty is going to be a 12.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna use that bonus die and the keep die again.
The bonus dice and the keep dice?
Yeah. Here we go. I can't look. I just gotta press the button and I can't look. Just gotta do it. 12.
So 12, right?
Yeah.
You're going to take an injury from falling.
Fuck's sake.
Pope's been a bonus dice from somebody else.
Not a wound? No, wait, wounds are bad.
Not a
Wounds are
wound.
bad.
Not a wound.
Injury's good. Okay.
You're
yeah,
going
that's
to take
fine.
an
Injury's
injury
fine.
as you roll, as you slam onto the ground and you roll a little bit. And you hear Harris's voice cry out your name from behind you. And we see a couple more devoted square up to you, and they have their what are they wielding? What is this? 2d5 damage. They're wielding like kind of short blades that glint in the kind of torchlight of the cavalry that is beginning to rear up, and is basically there's chaos as there's horses bounding around or being spooked and shying away or riding up towards the the keep itself, maybe. They are going to attack you. Okay, you've fallen. They've got a bit of they've got an advantage here. This is going to be a 6. Oh, sorry, I should have. No, let me roll that again, because they're going to get a test die as well from here. A 9 against your combat defense, and an 8 against your combat defense.
No.
As you slide and roll, trying to avoid the blow, Harris rides in, dispatches one, but there's still another standing over you. What would you like to do?
Okay. In for a penny, in for a pound. This boy is gonna die. Gonna use aim, and she's gonna go for trying and do a very precise, clean attack to try and just take him out without any sort of suffering. In theory.
Still,
So,
like, obviously just for flavour, but still from the floor, or like actually having taken a knee, stood up?
I think she's half up off the floor, so she's maybe on her knee. And so if this attack goes how, she's going to try and sweep his leg and then just straight in with the spear. She stands up and just a quick clean in the neck, done, kind of thing. So that's going to give me a plus B. Using my spear, that gives me one of them. So we're rolling 8 against this poor fucker. 22.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to do several degrees of success. It's going to do 3 degrees of success.
Which would be 9.
Is it 23 or 22?
22, because I have the injury.
Yeah. Okay, so it is 3 degrees of success. So you dispatch quickly the poor guy, and then the devoted goes down. Harris's horse is just as spooked, and he manages to jump off before he is thrown off his horse. He lands with a bit of a crunch in his armor, but he manages to kind of hero pose out a little bit. He manages to fall with one foot ready, and so he kind of stands and looking around, and these horses going which way and that. He helps you up to your feet as you look down towards the valley, and the Brotherhood are just like you, having been thrown about or have, basically like was it the rodeoed it out in like the fucking bucking bronco style, like off into the distance. But you're at like a chaos at the moment, unfortunately. Enzo, you can see all of this from the top of the northern side of that road, just outside the Fox Hollow keep. How would you like to try and make your exit?
Well, I wanted to talk to Miria.
I think with the time that it's taken to get Bryn together, and where she left and then you were awoken, she's had that just all happen just as you leave the keep itself.
Okay.
So you can see all of this happen below you just as you leave the castle.
Okay. In that case, I am going to order my companions and Bryn to make their way away from this as quietly, as sneakily as possible, because all attention's in at the battle. And I am going to go down and talk to Miria on a horse.
Okay. And so your companions and Bryn, or they lead Bryn off in a kind of northwesterly direction. Kind of around a little bit of the, like, they kind of shuffle along parts of the rock and the ravine itself, really taking the completely untrodden path, as opposed to heading down the road, heading north directly from the bridge and from that. And so you head down on a horse, and there are these sand steeds that, as you get closer, start to bolt out of the darkness at you and rush across you or rush through you, and they are neighing and whinnying at the spook that they've had. That you're not sure what from.
Battle.
But it's battle as well. Yeah. Is your approach fairly calm, or are you kind of rushing forward, kind of trying to dodge out the way and duck and weave?
Not particularly good on a horse. I hate them. So it's probably quite calm until I see Miria. And then when I see Miria, I might give it a little kick to go a bit quicker. But I want to make sure I'm shouting, Miria, it's Enzo, so she doesn't turn around and spear my sodding horse. Because I know that's something she would do.
I tell you what, as the horse bolts out of the darkness, please roll a animal handling ride check for me.
Oh, come
Difficulty
on.
is going to be 6.
That's bad enough.
Just to keep them.
Come on, it's 6.
Just to keep it on track.
All right.
You watch him fail this now.
I'm gonna use a freaking ride. It's ride, I assume. I'm
ride,
gonna
yeah.
use a bonus dice for this.
On the
now,
frame.
Watch.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna fail this. You
hate
watch.
shit
You
right now.
fucking
You
watch.
just skid up to Miria, like on your face in the mud.
8.
Eee!
All right, your horse almost bolts, but it keeps its nerve as you then trot down, trying to keep steady as the counterattack hasn't quite reached where you are yet. Miria and Harris are stood just off to the left, just in some rocks, just off the road itself, as they are standing around trying to regroup the Brotherhood that seem to have either like routed or like this is astounding that they've just broken up like this. But the counterattack is advancing. Of the Karen forces, the opposing forces. The counterattack is making its way up the hill. You have a very short amount of time before I'm going to start calling for combat.
Milia.
She's like yelling orders. It takes her a minute to even hear you because she's just screaming like brothers on me, like, you know, the typical war stuff. Before she notices, and in the dark she's like, Enzo.
And I get off the horse. Milia, you've got to end this, and you've got to end it now.
I'm trying to.
Tell your forces to withdraw.
If my men withdraw, then more Greenmont men will die.
No, trust me with this. Withdraw, go back to your camps, and then persuade the Karens to leave the siege. Do it.
Why?
Because it will save so many lives. It is not worth it.
It will save lives when Marcia surrenders.
She will not surrender. You know this. You will have to kill practically everyone in Fox Hollow, and you do not want that. And you will lose a lot of soldiers. You know that. It is not worth the cost. Go back and persuade him it is not worth it.
She will not stop this assault, Enzo. If I persuade Karen to withdraw, she will send another wave.
All she cares about is you on his land. If you withdraw from the land, she will not pursue. You have to do this.
Enzo, you know that's not true.
All she cares about is protecting Foxhole.
She is a loyal dog to the Targaryens, Enzo. She bows and scrapes at Maekar's feet. She will not leave, and she will not cease.
What does it matter who you follow or not? You follow Blackfyre, she follows Targaryens. It does not matter. What matters now is lives, family lives. You do not want this. You are siding with a Tarly host. I was there, Miria, at Hornhill when it happened. He butchered innocent people under guest rights. Again.
I know.
And
I
what?
know what he did. But right now, it is more than him. It is more than us. It is more than Fox Hollow. This is the realm, Enzo.
No. Right now, it is just people's lives. One house will not make a difference.
As you're
And I'll
saying
get on the
this-
horse.
Okay, yeah, no, as you are saying that, Harris begins to form up along with the Brotherhood of the Blood Royal as they form a bit of a shield wall just in front of you. Some of the devoted now almost kind of siding up with them as the Carons are just marching forward. And there is this clash as you're speaking, and bizarrely, you are at a point where, and Tom, I hope you can feel this a little bit with LARP, it's the battle is happening 5 feet away from you, and you are being pushed, and Miri, you are holding one of the backs of your men as you are trying to like talk to Enzo as that, and literally this battle meets you as you get on your horse.
Make her end this. Make her order a withdrawal, and I will do my part to end this violence. But if she does not do her part, then I cannot guarantee that lives will be saved today.
Yes, you can guarantee it by just withdrawing. You are siding with the Tarlys over your own family. Save lives, Miria. Goodbye. I'll kick off and head off into the night.
That is where we are going to end our session for tonight.
Fuck.
As he kicks off, credits roll. Woo! That escalated quickly. Not gonna lie. Thanks, Charlie.
This is her hill to die on.
I
okay?
fucking love it. It is literally
everything that has
her hill to
happened,
die on.
right?
Yeah.
Everything that has happened, and now Tali has the audacity to come and park an army on her lawn and just expect it to be like, yeah, sure, that's chill. Yeah, I'll just bow down to this bitch. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Oh. I feel like for pacing, what I really want to do is figure out what happens in this battle off screen, and then we come back to what's happened. I'm not going to leave people out. Like, Charlie, we can have a chat about kind of what you think, what you want to do, what you want it to play out like, or anything like that, depending on your kind of battle plans. And then maybe we can know in secret maybe. But I would love that kind of pacing, because it is very Song of Ice and Fire pacing to not quite know what's happened at the end of a battle and then hear about the aftermath. So that is why I ended it where I did. Plus, it's 9:30, which is our kind of cut-off point now for like a little nice 2.5 hour session. So thank you very much, friends, for yet more fucking juicy fruits. Jesus Christ. I'm going to go for a very nervous wee after this when we close out. So let's very quickly, for the sake of my bladder, go around, very quick debrief, and let us know if you want people to find you on the internet, where they can find you and stuff like that. Susie, you're in a minute.
Yep.
You're in a bit of a moment.
Yep. A little bit of everything happens so much. I knew this moment was coming, though, the moment when Maria would had to make her choice about where she stands and have to deal with the question of Fox Hollow, like, especially on her little journey. She hoped that Marcy was more amenable to conversation than she was, but, you know, she had an army on her doorstep.
I feel like Marzia had no fucks to give a little while ago. Now she's got
Yeah.
like negative fucks to give.
Negative fucks to give. Yeah, really, really. And I think, you know, seeing that fucking hanged envoy on the walls, like, pretty much told Miria that this was not going to end well, because she wouldn't even, you know, respect that that wartime tradition of you don't kill the messenger. They're just a fucking messenger.
Yeah.
And she was out for blood, and so yeah, Mary's had to kill some of the men that she was aside. But yeah, man, it's gonna be juicy as fuck. I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while. Prepare for some, you know, sad girl fix incoming. She processes some emotions. She didn't even get to fucking process that Ellery was dead. It was like, Ellery's dead. Okay, war still though. So come on, chop chop. You can't have emotions right now. We gotta keep going. So yeah. Yeah, so I'm Susie. I play Miria, and you can find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace, where I stream and stuff. I also work for Black House Gaming. And one thing that did happen today that we didn't get a chance to shout about yet, because it popped up just as we went live, but we have a new one-pager RPG currently up on DM's Guild. It's called The Morning After, the Night Before, where you all play vampires that have woken up at like 10 a.m. in the middle of somewhere public after being on a stag or a hen do. And you have to try and get the bride or groom home before the sun comes up and you all die. Well, you don't die, you get turned to dust. And it's a very complicated thing and time-consuming thing to come and reformat. And the wedding's next week. So you really need to get that bride or groom back in one piece. So do check that out on DM's Guild. Not DM's Guild, Drive Through RPG. I know what I'm talking about. It's
I
my
didn't
job
think
to talk
it was a
about
D&D
stuff.
thing. I thought it was, yeah,
It's
totally.
not. It's on Drive Through, so go check it out.
Yeah, please do. And check out socials for that to find out where that is. Follow Black Cats around the internet, or blackcatsgaming.com as well. Tom!
Hi.
Final word. Love it.
I know, it's great. I love having the final word, because, you know, it's the one that everyone remembers. It's so Enzo.
Yeah.
It's quite funny, because Millie was saying it in chat that Enzo and Faye, they never wanted kids, but now each of them have got one. So, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
gross. But I'm really excited. This is kind of like the direction I wanted to take Enzo. It's always been a theme in Game of Thrones that there's a big overarching, but they have very focused mini stories within the whole arc of the war and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And with Enzo not a soldier or commander, and it doesn't really matter to him that much who wins or who loses. He's a small bit player. Have a focused, small kind of story, but still contribute to the overarching thing is fantastic. And that's exactly where I like Enzo's story going. You know, it's going exactly where I wasn't expecting the kid. That's a bit awkward, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it's great. It's good. This is what happens when two very stubborn people go like this. It's just never gonna, you know, like, I think if Enzo was in that room when they were chatting, it wouldn't have made a blind bit of difference.
Will 5.
But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you all decide on what the end of the battle is. I just can't wait. I can't wait what the next point is. It's going to be great. It's going to be so much fun. But yeah, me, I don't really do much on internet much. You can check me at Hotflakes Tom on Twitter. But I do Phasmophobia on Susie's channel on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of spoops and an incredibly difficult map that is outside. And we're like, what the? And we just die. Even on amateur, it was embarrassing. But
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. Yeah.
It's so embarrassing.
It was pretty embarrassing.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But that's it for me.
Good.
That's it.
Thanks so much. Oh, Charlie, the juicy fruits tonight. I almost can't can't deal with it.
Well, I've spent, what, 5 seasons just holding her ground,
Yeah.
witnessing other people, and it's got to the point where she's got to do something. And the weird thing is like she is on the same side as Miria on a number of things, right, that
Yeah.
they're fighting about right now.
Mm.
And she remains like, her people have always been like her heart, and seeing a force just down the road from Fox Hollow Hamlet, remembering what happened at Blackmont, remembering all that stuff, she's like, I've got to do something here. This can't stand. I'm not a walkover. I was at that war table with those 3 men before, everything happened out in the desert. And yeah, so she's like, you know what? Mary is a lady of a house now. I'm a lady of this house. Lady Rowan's a lady of her house. Everyone's now their own house. Trust no bitches. I have to decide for my house, right? This is it.
Yeah,
I have to make a
absolutely.
decision.
Absolutely. It's beautiful
the reason
to watch.
I had that man hanged is it's an echo back to the very first thing she did as Lady of the House, which is when we had the Vulture King spy or whatever the fuck he was come in. He spilled his guts. He gave her a message, and she ordered him hanged.
Yeah.
For a crime against what she felt was her house and a threat against her house. That's it now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful to
super
watch.
fun.
You are the story arc we should have got for Dany that we didn't get. Because we can see it all, all everything you said. And we understand it, right?
It's like Mrs. Webby said, poisoned crows and swords from Miria. And the thing is I actually can contemplate it against arming my army with poison things, because she's a healer. She knows about all this stuff. But Marcia still can't do that. Even where she is now, she still couldn't poison a weapon. It's like, you know what? If I'm going to fight you, we're going to fight. And yeah, okay, she's going to use blood magic trickery, but she's still not that person who's going to poison people in addition to that. It's
Part
different.
of me really, really wanted you to say, yeah, I'll come with you. I know it was never going to happen, but there's a part of me that wanted to.
She's left Fox Hollow a grand total of 1 time on screen.
Yeah.
Real. Had that convo not gone so aggy, Mary would have been like, I can get you and Bryn out of here and safe somewhere away from here where you won't die. But no,
she was never going to move.
No,
She's never going to leave.
I know.
Even-
She's always had that belief of, there has to be a Greenmont at Fox Hollow for one.
Yeah.
And sending Bryn away is the crack in that for her. She's like, fuck, I've just had to send him away, but she wants him safe.
Yeah.
She's like, but someone has to stay here for the people because they are Greenmont too.
It would have been strategically, imagine Marcia in Highgarden with Casella. That would have been a beastly kind of force there. That would have. But you are right. You would never have left. Never in a million years.
No.
The second there's that threat against her and her people, it's like, this is where I am. This was what I was given. When the Lord died, this became my responsibility.
I could have parlayed. I could have gone as intermediary.
I don't think it would have worked.
This is the beauty of it, right?
I should have kidnapped Bryn and just fucked off with him.
Oh, that would not have gone well for you.
No, I know. Would not have.
This is the beauty,
I
right?
taken him.
So many
Tom
things
was
could have happened.
Enzo wants to speak to Miria. I was like, do not give Marcia's child to Miria right now.
She'd look after him.
I just had this moment of do not tell Miria where Bryn is. Because Marcia would that would be the no zone of very, very bad things.
I mean, she would literally give her life for Bryn to protect him. But yeah.
Well, evidently not, because you're about to attack a castle with the child in that you think. So you're not really that bothered about it, are you?
Yeah.
Because, it's more important that, you get one castle in the Red Mountains than...
Well, what I love is how this is unraveling, because, Samwell and the Tarly host have fucked off, so he's not even going to get to talk to Tarly for ages. They could end up prisoners of war or whatever. We don't know yet. Yeah. It's all gonna unravel. That's the beauty of it. Well, come back next Thursday when we are with Samwell, Mara, and Faye as they are over at Summerhall, besieging Summerhall. And we'll get to see a little bit of some of their politics before I've really got to work out the pacing, but we need a battle episode pretty soon. I think it all really depends, and this is the beauty, right? I don't know, I guess I tend to, in these campaigns, if I'm running them a little bit in parallel, I start to maybe just reflect what I'm thinking about them in each other. So I've just realised tonight that I am being led much more by you guys than I thought I was. I thought I'd get the downtime action stuff, and then I'd be like, right, off to write my story again, and I'd get you guys inserted into the scenes. But then, Charlie, you go and, you've got that action point. You go, I want to do this thing. And I'm like, fuck, I need to prep. But actually, yeah, sure, you of course you can. You shouldn't.
Sorry, Sam.
No, it's good. But you shouldn't have to not be able to. And this was it. I didn't want to presuppose maybe what Miria was doing. Like, I don't know, are you going to ride against them? Are you not? Are you, like, whose side are you picking? So yeah, like this really is going to unravel because of the individual actions that you're all taking, rather than because I'm trying to design it that way. So that's exciting and scary that I don't really know what to.
I'm not gonna lie, during Miria's part, I was like studying my sheet, going, "What did Don tell me about warfare again? How does this shit work?" I think this number means this one's good at this.
I was like, fuck, okay. I'd not looked at my warfare stuff for a while. How do we do this again? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Can I get some points to level up, Sam? Please?
No. Because you really want that quality, or you really want more will, I guess. I don't know. No. Unfortunately, not just yet.
I literally only need a destiny point. That's all I need.
Yeah.
But that's a big money item.
All right, Susie, while I do the plugs, find someone to raid. We always do this.
Okay. Yeah, we always do this every time.
Thank you very much. All right, if you liked the juicy fruits that you had tonight with us, come back next week where we will be with the other half of the cast, and we will be exploring what happens at Summerhall. We're back here every Thursday playing After the Fire, our Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Fire campaign. We are live from 7 p.m. UK time, which I believe for most our daylight savings have lined up. It's happening this weekend for us too, I think. Well, it definitely is happening for us too this weekend. But
the US, it's the week after.
It's the week after. Next week, it will be shorter. So it will be 7 p.m. or 3 p.m. Eastern for next week, and then it will go back to 2 p.m.s. And then we are back with our spy game campaign, Hexcrawl, on Wednesday night, same time. Susie is back as a Thrina, her hacker turned doctor, or medic as the class actually is. We're playing our game that we published, the spy game. You can check it out at blackcatsgamingshop.com, and you can find it on Drive-Thru RPG in PDF. As well as our store, and obviously check out Drive-Thru RPG for all of our other stuff. We've got stuff on DM's Guild and on Drive-Thru RPG too. A couple of one-shots or one-pager RPGs that we talked about. Susie mentioned the vampire one where you have to kind of recover from the morning after the night before and get home safe without getting burned by the sun. And then we've got the Adventures of the Takeaway Delivery Drivers, where you play takeaway delivery people on their different modes of transport, trying to get their takeaway to their destination whilst fighting monsters along the way. So if you fancy a little bit of that, check it out. It's literally pay what you want. So you could throw us a couple of bucks, or you grab it for free if you want to. Have we got someone lined up?
Yeah, we've got someone called Bexy Chillin who are playing a game called Frostmark. It's an RPG, and according to their bio, it is their own RPG that they have made.
We love that
or
here.
Or developing. So we're going to go check them out.
Yeah, so stick with them and see if you like the game, and because it really is the lifeblood of folks like us. If you like it, give them a bit of a good review, tell them that you like it, and follow them, back it if they eventually fund it or whatever they want to do with it. So please do check it out. Really is the lifeblood of little indie publishers like us. Cool. Send us over. We're going in just a second. We're going. Thank you very much, friends. We will see you, if not Wednesday, then hopefully again next Thursday. Bye-bye now.